Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to a brand new episode of Agatha a la Pod, a podcast by Agatha Loke. Well, guys, I've been having a fabulous week. Thank you all for all the nice feedback you've been giving me when you've seen me around the city and DMing me. I'm so happy you have been enjoying the show, honestly, and I have been having a lot of fun putting it all together, so I'm glad that it seems to be paying off somehow. I want to do a little something different before getting into the interview. I have received some questions that are pretty consistent from many of you, and that questions that are similar to one another, basically. So whether it was by running into each other or by DMs on Birdie, so I figured I would read some out loud before the interview. So let's do that right now. One of the questions I've been getting, which tickles me because I'm so glad that it's being received very well, is who did the theme song for the podcast? Well, I did. Me. I did it. Yes, I have a gazillion filters on my voice. I did it for your own protection. And fun fact, there is a full version of the theme song. So if you guys want to hear it, let me know and I'll post it. The next questions that I've been getting is how many episodes I'm planning to do for season 1 of the podcast. So because of some obligations that I have, in my life, and the timing and all that stuff, I signed up to do 6 episodes for this first season, with the option of doing a bit more should there be a second season. So if I get renewed, if we bring this show back for a second season, there's a chance that it'll be more than 6 episodes. So I figured, it's a good way to get my feet wet in the world of podcasting. We'll do 6 episodes, plan it out, and bada bing, bada boom, we do that. So, and then the last thing is not it's not a question, it's more of a comment. And somebody wrote, "You are a self-righteous cunt." Why, thank you. I hope you keep listening. Yes, I can be. Okay, so if any of you have any questions or comments that you'd like me to read out loud on the podcast, feel free to DM them to me on Birdie at Agatha, and who the fucking knows? It might make it on a future episode. Okay, so before we get into the interview, again, a couple of little, tidbits to mention. Reminder that we have a special limited edition Agatha mic being sold for $1,000. So if you want one of these before they run out, reach out to anyone who works at Weasel, including me. Okay, you know how to reach me, guys. I'm on the soch. You probably know somebody that knows me. Just let's connect and we'll do it. Okay, the next thing. If you have a business or selling something and you'd like to have an ad featured in one of our episodes, please contact Weasel News through the Services app or by calling the number of any of the owners if you have their contact information. That's it. So, my guests for this episode are 3 workers from Pillbox who are here to have a little chat with me. We discuss their lives before EMS, their favorite parts of working at Pillbox, and their not so favorite parts of working in the medical field. Yes, we go deep. We have a nice little conversation, and we even have a little fun towards the end of the episode with a random ass fucking game I put together. Cue the intro!
And it's been her all along. She's the one who's been scheming and spinning, turning every loss into a sly little winning. With this work that's a devilishly grinning. Oh yes, it's been her all along.
Well, hello! We are here chatting with what I like to call the angels of the city. Guys, please welcome to the podcast 3 of our city EMS employees, Lanche Devereaux, Demetrus Ray, and Sativa Galaxy. Hi, cutie patooties.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you guys for taking the time to be on this episode. I really, truly appreciate it. I know it took some planning and some shuffling around on who was going to do it and whatnot, but I'm glad we're finally here.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So how is everybody's work week going out at Pillbox? How's that coming along this week?
Great.
Yeah?
Keeping the clinic open.
What
My
was that?
vacation's going very well, thank you.
Oh, you're currently on vacation?
Yes.
Are you going anywhere? Have you been going anywhere nice for the vacay? Any tropical locations? Or are you just, is it a staycation? What's up?
It's a staycation this right now, just enjoying time with the hubby.
Oh, how is he doing? I miss him. I haven't seen him in a hot second.
Oh, Adonis is thriving. He can't keep that one down.
Oh,
Gosh, between the vineyard and being a manager at the record label, Rockford, he's a busy boy.
yeah. What about you, Demetrius? What was it that you said?
Oh, keeping the clinic open, all that fun stuff.
Oh, you're the one that's hard at work, huh? Are you planning any vacation anytime soon?
Probably not. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I got the vibe that you are really you love the work, huh? That's the vibe I got from you the other day when I saw you at the hospital.
Yeah, I enjoy being there. It's a good place.
Okay, that's good. How about you, Sativa? I know you've been a very busy girl lately.
Well, yes. Apparently, I had the second most hours last month. I didn't even
Oh,
realize.
congrats. How the hell did you manage to do that? You just
I don't know.
became owner of the Blue Lagoon Saloon. And you are obviously doing EMS work. You are working at Weasel News as an intern and also helping me produce this show. So, like, what the fuck, girl? Do you ever sleep?
No.
That checks out. Remind me after this show to tell you about this little trick with the cucumbers. It's really good, girl. Okay, so I am a curious little pussycat. How long have each of you been working at Pillbox? And what made you want to become a life-saving angel in the city where people fucking stub their toe and call it a critical injury, huh?
I mean,
Not
I'll
at
go
once.
first.
Yes, go
I've been
ahead.
there well, me and Demetrus started together actually, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Back, let's see, that would have been what, last March, Demetrus? A year ago?
Yeah,
March?
last March. Yeah,
Holy
about a
shit.
year. Mhm.
Yeah, so we've been at, well, Saint Fiacre and then Pillbox now for a little more than a year. I know I got started in EMS because I wanted to help people. I find um, helping, treating, diagnosing patients like very rewarding for myself. It was something that I really wanted to do at the time, and um, had to work really hard to get the job, even. So now, year and some odd months later, to be a part of the team that runs the hospital is it's a hard job. It's a hard job in any role, but it's definitely a hard job and rewarding in its own way.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah,
And
it's a lot of work.
what's like what's like the interview process for that shit? Because I always hear people say that, oh yeah, I'm like in the process of getting hired, but it is quite the journey to actually get hired. Like, do they put you guys through boot camp? What's like the process for that?
I know for me it was I couldn't even get an interview at the time. EMS was pretty full roster as they had claimed. It's a little different nowadays. We do interview everyone who applies now. So once you fill out an application, it might take a week or two or three even, but we do interview every single person that applies. Not all are able to join this profession, whether it's out of their time available or underestimating the responsibilities of the job. But everyone does get an interview chance nowadays. My stepmother at the time actually got me the interview, Evelyn. I'm not sure if money was exchanged or what, but all the way back then, but finally got my interview after about a month. And that was when they were told that they weren't hiring. At least that was my experience. I'm not sure about you, Demetrius or Sativa.
What about Sativa, your process to get hired compared to Lanche, how was that? Was it similar or has it changed since? Because he started last March and you didn't start that long ago, right? Or was it a few months ago or what?
next month will be 1 year for me.
Oh, okay.
Well, yes.
You guys are
Well, first,
fucking super veterans then. Jeez.
I had to get my record expunged, and that took a little bit.
Wait,
But
bitch. Wait, bitch. You had a criminal record? Why do I not remember this?
why, yes.
That checks out. Okay,
Um,
continue.
yeah. Then when it finally got expunged, I just so happened to be standing near the commissioner of EMS and Velma, and she interviewed me right then and there.
The rest is
So
history.
I looked. Why, yes.
Well, shit. Okay. Yeah, Velma's a fan of like on the spot interviews, like out of nowhere, because that's how she hired me for Rusty. It's pretty funny. It's very interesting. So, how about you, Demetrius? Well, how did you? So, you've been working about the same time as Lanche. How was that process for you? Was it as hard to get into it as it was for him? And why did you decide to do it?
As far as the why, I would say that I just enjoy helping people and try and make their days a little bit better. I'm kind of known as the one that likes to pass out feel better soon cards and whatnot. And I
Oh,
just, enjoy the job, enjoy helping people, and developing any new people that come in.
oh, that's
As far as the interviews, I applied. I don't know how long it took, but I know I was notified that they wanted to interview, so I went in to command and interviewed, and it was maybe like a couple days later, maybe a week later, they hired me on. And then Lance and I went to Academy. So I guess I might have had the smoothest process out of all of us. Just applied, did my interview, and got hired, and been trucking along.
okay. And how long do you guys have to spend at the academy before that part finishes?
So back then, our academy was 1 day. Back when we, I guess, kind of bulk hired.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say we, but back when the hospital kind of, would hire multiple people in bulk, and we just kind of train them all at once.
Okay.
And then there's on the field training. So that's just for new hires to learn as they go. And there's, we observe them just to see how they're handling scenes, how they're treating people, how they're handling their driving and whatnot. So now it's usually more one-on-one with the academy. We kind of just, go through the training one-on-one unless we, do a big group. But
Okay.
yeah, it's mostly just teaching them basics, and then they work with a field training officer, a field training assistant like Stevie and I. And then from there, they can be released on their own. But we're always here if they need help.
Okay, so it used to be a bulk thing, and now that was actually one of my next questions. So, in case there's any of the listeners interested in joining EMS, so now it's more of a one-on-one. It's more personal. It's very hands-on. So, I think that's fabulous. That's really nice. Yeah, because I remember at one point I considered probably joining, but I heard a little thing that maybe it was a bulk group training type of thing, and that me being a loud ass batch, I even got nervous at the thought of that. So the idea of this having been being shifted into more of a like a one-on-one type of thing, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely like a combination of both. Sometimes depends on how many people we have coming in at once.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, and people can request like one-on-one training as well. I mean, we accommodate as needed. We're lucky to have like a fully fledged out FTO program where we have training officers available who are able to take people with shift on them, or if we had say 5 people starting out, we'll run through the basics with all 5 of them over, a half hour, 45 minutes. Like, here's the hospital, this is where, the beds are, this is where the cloakroom and all of that. Just to kind of get some of that easy
Okay.
peasy stuff out of the way, not necessarily like the
Yeah.
treatment.
Nice. And how are you guys doing? Are you guys Because when you first applied, you mentioned that it seemed like they were like fully staffed. Is that the same case now, or are you guys looking to hire new folks in case anybody listening is interested in joining? Are they able to do that, or would they have to wait a little bit?
No, we're constantly hiring. Anyone's welcome to apply anytime. We might, like I said, we might not get to the apps right away that week, but it usually within a week or two, as our schedules allow. Right now, Reese does a bunch of the hiring for EMS, and then Enrique, the director of Parsons, handles his own hiring as well for Parsons if you're looking to do more psychological care. So as time allows, Reese will interview, 4 or 5 people over a weekend or anything like that.
Nice.
We just had like a group come through, so we just had I think it was 4 new hires come through this week. So no, we're constantly hiring.
Nice. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming if you're constantly hiring, it's already on the job posting is open in the job center on the Discordia, right? So if anybody is interested in joining this team, please go to the Evergreen City job Discordia section and apply, because it's a really fun bunch. I usually pass by there every once in a while, and it's always such a nice, you guys are so hard at work. So it's very much appreciated, even though it may not seem like it oftentimes. So just know that, honey buns. Okay, so this is my typical thing that I do with my guests because I am a curious batch, and I just love to get to know and sometimes reminded of some backstories on each and every person. So I would really like to know about each of you, like your origin story before you joined EMS. So what was your path like before landing the EMS job? How long have you been in the city? And all that stuff. So let's start with, I don't know, you, Sativa.
Well, this November will be like my 2-year anniversary of moving to Evergreen.
Oh.
And, well, you were basically the first person
That's
I
right.
talked to.
Wait, I was the first person you talked to?
Well, there was like one other person that randomly came up to me, but then I ran away from them because I was scared.
Okay, yeah, let's just leave it at me. I'll be the first person. That's good. Aw.
So yeah,
That's right,
I
it was at
finally got the
Uwu.
courage. Yeah, I finally got the courage to go in there to get food. I was just living off gas station food. And then you asked me for a quote to post on Birdie. And of course you didn't you elaborated more on the quote than what I said.
I had to zhuzh it up, honey bun. I mean, what can you blame me? I mean, shit. I was taking care of business for the cat cafe.
Well, and then I just kept coming back there every day to see if you were there. And eventually you helped me get a job there.
Yeah, I remember the good old days, early days. So that means you and I have been in city for basically around the same time, because I think I came a month later. You said November, right? So I came a month after that, because I'm also reaching 2 years now later this year. So you worked at Uwu Cafe before EMS. Did you work at anywhere else? I know you had a dream of like opening up a smoke shop or something, or like a smoke cafe, I should say, if I'm remembering correctly. Did you have any other jobs apart from Uwu before landing your EMS gig?
No, that was before EMS, yeah.
Yeah.
It was my very first job. And then I applied to the saloon and got hired there. And then I quit Uwu to work at Harmonies. So I was a mechanic at Harmonies for a little bit.
Oh, that's right.
I also worked at Pizza This. Then the Vineyard.
Okay, Barbie, you've had many different careers, I see.
Yeah, in between Harmonies and Pizza This, I joined EMS somewhere in there.
Wow, I didn't realize you've been working at the saloon for that long. I don't know why I felt like you joined the saloon. I mean, not that far back, that's for sure. Interesting, okay. And then you landed at EMS and you've been there ever since.
Yep.
And somehow before that you had a criminal record. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking remember that, bitch, unless you hid it from me. I'm shocked. I'm shooketh.
I think your memory is just bad.
Yes, it is. It is. That's what happens when your father sends you to a laboratory to get experimented on and create a bunch of clones of out of you. But that's for another episode, listeners. Okay, how about you, Demetrius? Tell us your origin story. What was your path before EMS? What sort of shenanigans did you get yourself into?
Yeah, so I joined. Well, I started visiting Evergreen in, I want to say, December of 2023. Um, Originally, I very briefly worked for Uwu. It wasn't that long. It's kind of in and out. And then I was on a record company, on their artist roster. That kind of went south, but that's for another episode. We'll talk about that, another week.
Absolutely.
Anyways, and then my first steady job was Vanilla Unicorn. So I
Were you
was
were you
there.
a dancer?
No, I don't
What?
dance.
With that body? Honey
I
bun, with
was
that
behind the bar.
with the body that you have, you could just stand there and like twitch your knee every once in a while and you'll still make money, honey. But anyway,
Oh,
whatever.
thank you.
Continue.
Yes, they needed a lot of people on the bar back, so it's like, okay, that's fine. I'll go at the bar, and I had a lot of fun there. And then I was just kind of looking for something a little more. Obviously working at VU is great, but you're kind of I like to keep busy. So that's kind of when I pivoted to working with EMS along with working at VU until they sadly closed.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Lanche, honey bun, what about you?
Yeah, I flew into Evergreen, let's see here, January of 2024, so later than most of you guys. I didn't do a ton. I used to hang out. I flew in with my bestie Johnny Poppers.
Oh shit, I
We
remember
used to
him.
get, yeah, we used to get into some sort of shenanigans. He got hired to real estate right away, so I used to just kind of tag along with him, and he'd pay me to like assist him, I guess. Everybody does a little bit of electrical here and there. That was when it was popular.
Oh yeah,
Um,
remember that.
yeah.
Did you ever
I
do
didn't
did you
start
ever do
work.
the lumber? Because that was also very popular
I
when I did it. When
I
I
tried lumber,
first
but the saws are so loud that I
it was too much. Yeah.
found that I couldn't tolerate
Not
that.
to
So
mention, you were always you were had to keep an eye out for all these fucking murder kitties that were looming around in every corner. It was yeah, it was a lot. I
that
get it.
too. That too. Yeah, lumber and then some electrical. Other than that, I kind of just mooched off Johnny until I got a stable job at EMS. EMS was my first job, actually.
Really?
Um, yeah, I've worked a couple other places. I've done 2 stints in real estate. Worked at Rusty's as the manager of, or sorry, I was the donut hole inspection manager
Oh, very
for
fitting.
Velma there, Velma and Flo. And then I've done like odd jobs and stuff, but nothing crazy. So yeah, I bet EMS has always been kind of like my anchor. Easy to kind of roll back into, get back on shift
Yeah.
and roll. So
You're a very dedicated person. It clearly speaks highly of you. If I mean that was your first job, you're still there. I'm sure you like been promoted a few times and you're not in the same position you were when you first started. I would hope not. That's really nice that you've dedicated so much time to that and helping the city. So thanks for that.
oh, thank you. That's kind of you. Thank
Of
you.
course. So, can one of you guys walk me through a day in the life of an EMS? You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. Like what's a typical day, or is it, or does it vary?
I think like Sativa and Demetrius could give you kind of two different aspects. They both run or are part of different departments.
Okay.
Sativa with our infectious disease department, and Demetrius, who's heading up our clinical initiative right now, could give you like a really good idea of what the snapshot is right now. I've been on vacation for a bit, and my role is a little bit different than theirs.
Okay. All right, honey buns. Anybody? The infectious diseases department. I'm sure you're quite busy because By the looks of some of these bitches, I would say they all have fucking rabies, but so I'm assuming you must be very busy in your department.
Right. Well, I'm also on transport side, so I'm like one of the people responding to calls.
Is that your busiest? Is that your busiest part of your job? Would you say?
Yes, is like responding to calls is the busiest.
Okay. But that's really cool that we have a department for infectious diseases because I had no idea until you told me a few weeks ago. And like, it's crazy because I don't know how many people do not know that we have that. I mean, or I should say, I wonder how many people do not know that we have that department. And that just goes to show that you guys work on so many things behind the scenes that you may not necessarily promote, but however, it does exist. The work is there, even if nobody sees it. So I think that's pretty fucking cool. What about you, Demetrius? How's your day as an EMS employee?
So yeah, I am more on the ICU medical side of things. So it is more day to day. It can change. So obviously we all respond to calls. So if I'm on duty, I'm helping out with calls. If there's any surgeries that come in, any urgent surgeries, usually I will step in and help with that, whether it's leading it or just, like I said, helping whenever I can. If it's multiple people, I'll take on one of them. So we kind of split. So kind of normal day, responding to calls, helping with any surgeries that come in. And then the more medical side would probably be anyone who contacts us needing any medical services. We follow up with them to try and get something scheduled, and we go from there.
And for any newbies listening that have had the fortune of never having to have medical attention, if you find yourself needing it, what number should they call, Demetrius?
Usually if anyone's on duty and they need to speak to a doctor, you can go to anyone on duty, and they will pass off the information to our medical team, and we will go from there.
Okay. And what if they're really far away from the hospital?
Get to the closest hospital. Obviously, there are 3 in the city. So there's the one in Sandy, and then the one in Paleto, and then the one in Maintown. So obviously, try your best to get to one of those hospitals if we're not around.
All right.
And so yeah.
Okay, you guys heard it. Just drag yourself to the hospital.
If we are around, please 311.
Yes, if we are around, just call us. So we do have a 311 to call. But if we're not around, just try and get to your hospital as best you can.
Fantastic. Good information to know.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known that when I first came into Evergreen City. That would have saved me a lot of time. Many, many times. Okay, so I know that, I'm imagining this job is very rewarding, but also at the same time, it can be a little bit stressful. How do you guys keep yourself in check to be able to continue to do this job? How do you mentally handle seeing chaos every day while half the city walks around like it's fucking Rockford Reloaded day number 8? And by the way, listeners, I know there aren't that many days for Rockford Reloaded, so don't come for me, musicians. I love Rockford. How do you guys deal with it?
I don't know. I like to hang out with friends and family. Husband and I like to go for a round. The carnival was really fun to hang out at recently.
Yes. I love that carnival. I wish it would just stay permanently.
I know, it was really fun. A really cool addition to the city for however long it's around. But I think like the most important thing is like when you leave the hospital, you leave and you leave it there.
Yeah,
we like to go out, have fun as friends, go parachuting, go hang out at the saloon. Reese and Sativa, 2 good friends of mine, just got the saloon. So it's nice to go hang out with them once in a while. They're doing karaoke up there, just participating and being present, I think is the most important thing. I attend a lot of music activities or like music concerts with my husband Adonis as well. So it's nice to just like kind of step back and absorb instead of having to participate sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice to disconnect every once in a while. Would you guys agree? Steve and Demetrius, do you guys all sort of do something similar? Just like disconnect once you're out of those hospital doors and just, give yourself some TLC?
Well, yes.
Yes.
do
Okay.
about the same things that Lance said they do.
And also
Yeah,
get
I
into
think like the
chaos with
most
me.
important.
So, what was that, honey
Yeah.
bun?
Well, I think like the important thing to do, like to remember, is like we're people too. Like when we leave the hospital, like we have lives.
Yeah.
So if you see somebody, seeing an EMS out there, and gosh, somebody saying thank you like on the street is like probably like the most gracious thing ever for just a regular citizen to say to an EMS worker who's not
Yeah.
on duty, instead of why aren't you on duty? So
Right.
um,
Oh, I can
it's great to be
imagine.
able to
I,
do
I,
that.
I do hope that you guys get to hear that often. Because I can't imagine just fucking doing what you do every day. And I can only imagine that it just gets very taxing mentally. Going out, helping people out, it can like sometimes, and not to mention if you lose a patient, it's like, it's a lot. It's not an easy job, honey buns. I get it. Okay, so since you kind of lightly touched on it, Lanche, let's talk about the elephant in the ER. People think sometimes, some people, not everybody, that you guys are just basically human band-aids. How do you handle being seen as a glorified, I don't know, revive machine instead of the heroes that you guys are?
I'll take point on this if you guys don't mind. You grow tough skin as as somebody who works in this at the hospital. I think that's like number one, is like we're helping people during some of their most traumatic times, right?
Mhm.
And a bit of empathy goes a really long way.
Yeah.
To those who don't appreciate that empathy, that's fine. It's no love lost to give a little kindness. I think like the biggest problem sometimes though is like I said, when we leave the hospital, like we have lives. We're not there to continually serve 24/7. Someone walked up to me on the street the other day and asked me for a bandage, and it's like, come on, what's going on here?
Jesus
Figure
Christ.
figure it out. Go to the hospital, call 311.
I would hope they would at least say hello. It's not like you guys had a slumber party the night before where they could just walk up to you and demand a band-aid.
Right. And I don't know if that's a respect thing or if it's just a entitlement thing. I don't know what that is. But again, these are real people. Yes, when they're at the hospital, they can heal you. But when they're not at the hospital or at a concert or wherever, like, respecting boundaries, I think is kind of just the biggest thing. At least for me. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Like being there every once in a while and seeing it myself firsthand, I feel like it's like they sort of think that you guys just walk around with all these professional equipment on you. And when that really is not the case, once you guys are clocked out, you are just another civilian, just like them. You're not walking around with a fucking, what are those little things called that you just fucking, the little pads that you put on chest to revive people and crap. It's not like you're walking around with that shit, right? So
no.
it's easy for people to forget that EMS employees are real people with real trauma sometimes, and not just magical medics who spawn from the void. So it's a
Well,
struggle.
ever since Nancy divorced Greg, and Greg left town, the ambulance driver, the old ambulance driver.
Shut the fuck up, really?
Oh yeah, it's a whole scandal.
God.
Nancy, I mean, you didn't hear this from me, right? But Velma and Nancy had a little bit of an affair, from what I heard, and the Nancy divorced her husband to be with Velma.
That's
So Greg
why.
left town.
That's why
Greg left
Nancy.
town.
Sorry to interrupt, but that's why Nancy turned into a fucking tomato the other day when I mentioned Velma. She just kind of smirked and she turned fucking red as fuck, Lanche. Okay, now
Yeah.
the puzzle has been completed in my brain. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on, honey bun. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, so it's just I don't even remember what we were talking about now, but yeah, no, it's the medical equipment and all that stuff that's kept at the hospital when we're off duty. I have some bandages on me just like everyone else does. I have to go buy them at the store sometimes too. So
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
just people, but yeah.
All right. So I noticed that Pillbox, oftentimes, interestingly enough, despite the fact that we have all these other locations in our city, Pillbox for some reason tends to be a hot spot for hanging out. I was there the other day for just to pick up my bestie here, Sativa, and that shit looked like a fucking club, honey buns. That thing was, I thought I had gone to Galaxy and they were having a medic theme night because it was so fucking packed. I've even heard the term, and I know you guys know this term, gang o'clock being thrown out at some point. What can you guys say about that? Where the hell did this gang o'clock thing come from?
Well, what I can say, like that, I think I remember the day that you were there. There was a few of us actually clocked on, so most of us were there to work. I think there was like 4 or 5 of us, I believe. So sometimes, obviously when there's a lot of us in, it does kind of look like a party. Sometimes there are some people who do hang around the hospital. We try and discourage that. If it's like a friend of someone who's on duty or something, and obviously Lanche can correct me if I'm speaking out of term. But especially if we're off duty, we try not to be around the hospital. But I definitely think as far as the whole gang o'clock thing, I don't know if it's just a disconnect between us and everyone else or something else. But I know that's definitely been a point of contention for a while. And I'm not sure if it's just, yeah.
I think what Agatha's referring to are people hanging outside in the parking lot for an hour or two. It's like the best meetup spot.
Yeah.
But Demetrus does touch on something very interesting, which is, 10 or a group of 12 friends can hang out in the parking lot at the hospital, but if a couple of the doctors want to hang out inside of the hospital with their friends in the cafe or in the front lobby or something, get accosted for not being on duty. So we have advised staff not to hang out at the hospital at all if off duty. So I would encourage anyone else who's hanging out there who isn't staff, go find somewhere else to hang out as well.
Go to an open business. Go to a place that's open.
Exactly, yeah.
They would love your company.
I'm sure Burger Shot or Saloon or
Smoke,
Rolls, any of them, Smoke. I'm sure they would all love your business.
I'll admit I was one of the people that was confused to that whole thing where if you're clocked out, do not be at Pillbox. But hearing you guys explain the reasoning behind that makes absolutely perfect sense why you should implement that rule, because you're just avoiding the whole fucking toxic shit and you're looking out for yourselves. And at the end of the day, that's what's important. You got to take care of yourself before you're able to take care of the rest of the city. Well, so thanks for clarifying that. That's very interesting.
We're a very fortunate group. Like a lot of EMS gets along and likes to hang out and be friends and friendly and whatever. So the hospital was a natural gathering place for visiting friends who were on duty, of those of us who are off duty. Because I was just as guilty of it as myself. Of doing that. So that's where that stemmed from. And then all of a sudden there's accusations that we're just standing there. So staff has been advised to get off the property when they're not working and go do some other stuff.
You don't have to tell me twice, because I know when I clock out, I run out of there.
You got to get to the smoke. You got to get to smoke.
Got to get to smoke. Got to go to Burger Shot. Got things to do.
Are there? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying, Demetrus is booked and blessed. It's very good.
I'm on the run. Not from the law, just in general. Very busy.
Yeah, it's good that, let's make sure that it's clear to everybody he's not on the run from the law.
Yeah.
So what would you guys say are some misconceptions people have about EMS? Because I've heard a lot of things like, they have the strictest rules for its employees. But I mean, me being one of them, I feel the same way. That's one of my opinions too, or my feelings was that. But now, like a perfect example was that whole thing where like, I thought it was too strict that they were telling their employees not to hang out if they're not clocked in. But now I understand why. But what would you say are some other misconceptions, if there is any, that people have about you guys that you would like to clear up here on the show?
I would say for me, the biggest thing I hear is how do I word this properly? A lack of knowledge from staff. And I mean, obviously I don't hear that feedback personally, so I'm not sure if it's directed to a certain employee or something. But I know that's a general consensus that people feel that there's a lot of lack of experience when people
What
are out on the
in the
field.
medical field? Like lack of experience in the medical?
Yeah, I
Spoken by
guess, yeah.
normal civilians who have no medical degree? Okay, that's interesting.
And I mean, we do try our best to train. Well, I shouldn't say we try. We do our best to train everyone and make sure that they are understanding and know our processes. So I'm not sure if maybe they just get it confused with our newer people that are still trying to learn, or if it's, I hate to say a throwaway comment, but I can say for me, I'm doing a lot, at least on the medical side, to improve our training and to improve our stuff. We recently have a doctor's handbook, and I've been doing a lot of guides for anyone on our medical side, and I mean, really anyone in EMS can use it. So I know we've been doing things to make that better, and I know all of us FTOs do our best to make sure that everyone is trained and knows what they're doing and feels comfortable with what they're doing.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
So I guess for me, I know that's what I hear a lot. So that would probably be my biggest comment.
All right. Any other ones that Lanche or Sativa that you want to shed a light on, or do you pretty much agree that's like one of the biggest ones?
Well, we talked about it a little bit already, but people thinking that we can, like help them or even ourselves while we're off duty, and
Yeah.
we can't. Like, if we get hurt, we have to, see Nancy like everybody else. Like, if no EMS are around, we, have to wait around for a life flight from Nancy as well. We also pay for Nancy as well. And usually when we get hurt, there is no EMS because we are the EMS. So
Right. And it's not like you get any discounts either. You pay the same price as we all do.
Yep.
And you also, as I said earlier, I'm sure you don't carry medical equipment for fun when you're off the clock. So
that would actually cost us our job. We are not allowed to.
Okay, very good to know.
And like when like I'm down and bleeding, I can't pull out a med kit, use it myself. Like I'm bleeding and I can't see straight. So sometimes like when I'm on duty alone, I have to wait for a life flight from Nancy myself, and that's happened plenty of times. The locals are crazy out there. So
yes, they fucking are.
Yeah.
Even on duty, we're kind of at the grace of Nancy, unfortunately. But I think that's a great misconception, both from Demetrus and Sativa. I think another one too is like people are scared to get into EMS. There is training. There's a lot of training. If you want to learn it, we will train you. We have comprehensive guides that are constantly being worked on by members of our staff. We are a very open and welcoming group. People think that we're like, I've heard before that people think like, oh, it's EMS. They think they're better than everyone. While I do think I'm better than everyone, that's happened way before EMS happened to me.
Of course.
I do think that anyone can do the job if they have the ability to learn and want to learn. It is probably the highest technical job. I would say that DOJ and PD are right up there, but EMS requires a lot of knowledge and in the moment decision making, where we don't necessarily have the time to research things. It has to be on the spot. So if you feel like somebody who can kind of, run through the fire, EMS is definitely the job for you. There's a lot of exciting times. You meet a ton of people. Oh my gosh, you meet a ton of people.
Yes, you do.
All walks of life. Some turn out to be your best friends, and some turn out to be I wouldn't say enemies, but not your best friends for sure.
Yeah.
I met my husband treating him in the front lawn.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
Izzy's house, yes.
Oh my god, that is so romantic.
It was very sweet. He was very hurt. Broke his leg actually that day.
That is like something out of like a gay Hallmark movie.
I know, it was very touching. So love can even blossom from being on EMS, and I I'm a big proponent of that. So
You not only mended his leg, but you mended his heart and fell in love.
honestly, we saved each other that day.
All right,
Aw.
guys. So just to close out this segment before we get to the fun stuff, I was curious. Do you know what could be fun and perhaps help people like walk a mile in the shoes of an EMS employees? Ride-alongs. Have you guys ever tried doing that? It could be a very enlightening experience for those who don't work at Pillbox.
We do allow ride-alongs. They just have to be approved by a command member and up.
Okay.
So if you're interested in that, you just, again, need to reach out to somebody who's on shift and they can forward your referral to a command member to address and review. They do have to have a clean criminal record, somebody who can prospectively get hired. We would consider ride-alongs for other people in situational matters, like if a member of PD wanted to ride along for a day, or DOJ justice or judge or attorney or something like that wanted to do something.
Well, I would love to go on a ride along, so consider this my request for my interest. Please submit it somewhere.
Received.
I actually did ride-alongs before I was EMS.
Is that what convinced you to join it?
Well, what convinced me to join EMS was 3 months of Reese begging me to join EMS.
Oh, well, yeah, she does have that effect on peeps. How could you say no to her?
She's our fearless leader.
All
Yeah,
right,
she's
so
the number one poacher for EMS.
Oh, okay. Is that her that's her title, huh? Is it on the business card? It should be.
Sure.
Okay, so all right, let's get to some little fun questions here, guys. So, with peace and love, of course. Who would you guys say is the craziest employee you think needs to be transferred to a padded room at Parsons? And I want you to be honest. And it could be fun crazy. We're not shitting on anybody. Just clarification, people.
I mean, I have mine. It's definitely Demetrus. He's lucky he still works at EMS. He's gone through many sessions with myself and Reese. So
I've only
I don't know if
landed
he
one
agrees.
recruit on the roof. I've only done that once.
Holy shit.
So yeah, no, Demetrus is fun. It's always a fun shift if Demetrus is around. I always think. But yeah, definitely a padded room. That one's a little crazy.
Okay, what about you, Sativa? Who do you think would needs a reservation at Parsons?
I'm gonna have to agree with Lanche and
Holy shit.
Demetrius.
Poor
especially
Demetrius.
from
Jesus
what I
Christ.
witnessed earlier today. There was
Listen, I was off duty, and I was trying to help the locals because no one was on PD. So I was helping,
They decided to use a Tron bike to try to ram a local car out of the way of the road. But it's a bike, so of course they fell off.
And my back is broken right now. But you know
Oh,
what?
no,
I was
and-
doing the Lord's work.
And you still made it to my show? Thank you so much, honey bun.
I did. Just a couple Sandy Diesel joints and
Aw.
go on my way.
So who do you think should be at Parsons, Demetrius? Since these two told you, is there anybody else, or are you going to point a finger to one of these two?
I was expecting them to say me, and I also agree.
Oh.
I would not so much that they need to be in a padded room. I just think that we need to wrap them in padding. I would probably say Taylor.
Taylor.
Oh, that is a good one.
Taylor just needs to be wrapped in padding. We just need to put her. I told her that we're going to put her in a Zorb ball, and wrap her in bubble wrap because she's always getting injured.
Yes.
I will say sometimes, a couple times it was me. I do take accountability. But she's every week. She's got some broken bone, some wound. And I feel like we just need to put her in a ball.
I saw her once and I was very concerned and I kept asking her, "Are you okay? Do you need anything? And she was like, "Agatha, what the fuck? What do you mean?" And then I realized that she wasn't limping and that's what was off about her. I was like, "Oh, this is the first time you're not fucking limping, Taylor." I thought there was something severely wrong, but
Please.
somebody get that
She
girl
was in a state of normalcy.
I'm going to get her
That's
some
so good.
Agatha Olapod branded padding to wrap her little cute body in that shit. Have fun unwrapping that, Mildred. Okay.
Ooh.
So,
Oh.
if Pillbox had a reality show, what would it be called and who would be the breakout star? Forget the title. Just who would be the breakout star? Who would be the breakout star?
Reality
know.
show. There's a lot of personality on EMS. Gosh.
I don't feel like it would be me. I would probably be the voice of reason. Be like, let's not do this.
Really? The one that they
I
all
feel like-
accuse that belongs at Parsons?
Listen, I'm saying sometimes. I don't know. I feel like we're mostly an ensemble very much.
We always
I don't
say
know.
that it should be like Reese's Anatomy, but
Mhm.
Oh my god. That would be so
No.
fucking spectacular.
there's a lot of personality at EMS. A lot of people have a lot of big personality in EMS, so I would feel like that might be an interesting, like an ensemble almost, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, it would be like
Yeah.
Married to Medicine, but most of us aren't married. You know, they're all one big group of doctors. There's
Yeah,
not
like
really
I have a
certain
husband, and like
person.
Sativa doesn't have a husband.
And I just live in my house
Right.
alone up in the boons.
I tried setting you up. You didn't want to go on a date.
And now she's dead.
Please,
That's true.
please don't set Sativa up with anybody. Or wait, or are you talking about
No,
Demetrius?
not me.
I set Demetrius up with. I was trying
Oh.
to set him up with Kelly. God rest her soul.
Yeah, God rest her soul.
Oh,
That was back
bless-
when
Bless that
Ranch
little
had a
cute combo
matchmaking
meal.
company.
Actually, the hospital does now sell Kelly fried chicken. So
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Okay, I need to make a note. Hold on. I gotta purchase a few of those. All right. Okay.
in her honor.
Yeah, of course. In her honor. Rest in peace. I miss that batch. And I also miss Izzy, speaking of batches. So, okay. Now, we're going to play a little game, guys. And I'm going to ask, and I'm going to go down to each of you. It's going to be simple. Don't panic. I see that look on some of your faces, okay? It's going to be a this or that game. Now, I want you to be honest with your answers, okay? Pretend you are in a city where the current EMS rules do not apply, and you are allowed to be completely honest with your answer. Do not feel you need to give an appropriate one just because your bosses may or may not be listening. And to the listeners, these questions are going to involve many of their colleagues at Pillbox. So when you hear me say random ass names and wonder who the fuck I'm referring to, that's who these folks are, okay? Okay, here we go. This or that. Would you rather respond to a call in a burning building wearing only Crocs, or treat a gang member who insists on live streaming the entire medical procedure on Instapic? Lanche.
I've done the latter. I'd rather do the former. I like my Crocs and my scrubs, but I've done the latter before.
Oh my gosh, your poor feet. That's just going to melt in a burning building, but okay. Who needs that?
Demetrius, didn't you live stream a BBL?
I didn't,
Wasn't
but
you?
the patient did. Yes, the patient
Oh,
did.
the patient did. Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember that.
that
that was
checks out.
So I've done that before. I don't know if I could go into a burning building with only Crocs because I'm not resistant to fire.
Okay.
But I would try it.
All
Since I've
right.
technically done the other, I would try it and see if I survive.
Okay.
I mean, we
what,
do have fire extinguishers, so
Yeah,
if I could bring my fire
exactly.
extinguisher.
What about you, Sativa?
The Crocs.
The Crocs? Okay. This or that. Would you rather be trapped in an elevator for 6 hours with Velma, who is nonstop spouting conspiracy theories, or with Taylor while they live stream the whole thing while they say, smash that follow button every 5 minutes?
Oh my god.
Are you okay, honey bun?
Yeah.
All right. Demetrius, let's start with you. What would you rather do?
I would probably just rather listen to Velma's conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Because if I'm off duty, I would keep my knife on me and I would eventually try to figure out how to get out of the roof. Because some of those elevators, they have like the roof that you can push up
Yeah.
on top. So I think eventually she just might not notice I'm there and I can just like hop out. I think if Taylor was in there, I just might I don't know, just open the doors and jump down if I had to listen to that.
Holy shit. What? Okay, Sativa Honey Bun, how about you? What's your
The
answer?
same. I'd rather listen to the conspiracy theories because I honestly probably think that would be entertaining, and I might end up strangling Taylor in that situation.
How about you, Lanche?
Honestly, both sound like fun to me.
I think so,
Velma,
too.
as commissioner of the hospital, I spend a lot of time with Velma talking about hospital stuff. Listening to her, she's got the tea. I mean, I will just say it. She's got the tea. She's always a good time. Taylor, I mean, I would pick Velma, but Taylor's not a bad one to hang out with for 6 hours either. So
Yeah.
Taylor's very entertaining in her own way.
And chances are she'll be the one to get hurt and not you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Very
I didn't think
accident prone,
about that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Honestly, I'd probably go into the void and escape both scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have a talent for that.
I was thinking not Taylor because I don't want her to lose another eye. She only has one eye left.
Oh my gosh,
So
I'm
I
still
was
she
thinking
still
maybe
has it.
I was thinking if it's me and Velma, I can just figure out how to escape.
Okay.
I don't want Taylor losing another eye or
All
limb.
right. Okay, so this or that. Would you rather get a ride-along shift with Reese, who insists on motivational speeches before every call, or Michael, who treats the sirens like it's his personal DJ set? Sativa.
Michael.
Okay. Lanche.
I would pick Michael, but only because anyone who rides with Reese is they've already signed their own death certificate.
Yeah, I was about to say they're going to die.
Demetrus?
I've been flown out of Reese's ambulance so many times.
Yeah, I would probably say Michael, but I have Uno reverse Reese once, so I think if I got into a car with her, she might Uno reverse me back.
Holy shit. Are you as bad of a driver as she is?
No, I just used to have really bad headaches, and someone trusted me driving our vehicle back all the way
Okay.
from Sandy, and she fell off the side and rolled for about 2 miles on the road.
Oh God.
Wow. Okay. I
I
got
know
three.
Lanche might have been there. This was a long
I
time
was
ago.
there.
I don't know.
I remember that.
Savia. Yeah.
We don't
Someone
let
trusted me
Demetrius
driving.
drive the truck anymore.
Yeah, that's why I stay in the hospital. And I'm not on the transport.
You guys sound like you
So
have
I'm
a fun old time over there at Pillbox when you're out and about healing people. I love that.
Yeah.
I think that was from a blood drive that we did. Was that after a blood drive?
No, it was. What was that one place? King's Arm. This was a long time ago.
Oh, King's Arms. Yeah,
We were doing something. King's Arms was doing something, and we had to be there for it. I don't know. They
That's
were
fun.
getting. Yeah, it was fun, and then someone trusted me with the keys. Why? I don't know. I ask the same question whenever I get into my EMS bike. Who trusted me with this? So I would say Michael.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. Although I would love to get motivated by Reese. So, we have 3 more of these guys. This or that. You have sprained your ankle and call 311. Would you rather get medical treatment from Taylor, who has drunk 6 cans of expired Red Bull and now thinks they're ascending, or Velma, who insists on treating your ankle with positive vibrations?
Oh my God.
Anyone.
Oh my God, Taylor, please, not Velma.
Okay.
I don't think Velma's treated a patient in more than a year, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would rather have
He was on
Taylor.
duty with us the
Well,
other day.
if she's trying to treat them with positive vibrations, that's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
telling.
Yeah,
Oh.
she was. I would probably still say Taylor though.
I was on vacation, so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are
Yeah,
very brave to
well-
let Taylor do that.
Seeing as how I want my ankle healed, I'd probably go with Taylor.
Okay.
I don't know. I've kind of accidentally ran into Taylor a couple times, and I've accidentally kind of whacked her a couple times. So she might just break my ankle all the way. So I don't know.
Taylor's not vindictive, no.
No.
Not on
I tell her she
purpose.
can hit me
Right.
back,
I
but she
mean,
never does.
he would probably get hurt. She'd probably break her
She
ankle
means well.
treating yours.
Yeah, she would break
Or
her
maybe-
ankle, and
maybe
then
she
we would
get
be both
abducted
laying
while
on
you
the
were doing it.
floor.
Yeah, she would treat you and somehow end up with a broken ankle herself.
Crazy.
All right, so I love you, Taylor. Haha, my boss. Okay, so this or that. Would you rather use Michael's no longer chocolate covered almonds, which have been freshly licked and slobbered off, as a topping for your ice
God.
cream, or use a light coat of Sativa's ear hairs as a topping?
You're fucking gross.
What?
Oh my God.
I blame my producers. Well, Sativa would probably. I know Sativa's answer. What about you, Lanche?
What?
I think you would do your own ear hairs, girl.
Fuck no.
No, so you would do Michael's leftover slobbered almonds?
Yeah, you didn't say I couldn't rinse them first.
Yeah, I think we're all doing the almonds. We're all doing our Yolanda Hadid, and we're gonna eat the almonds.
Okay, so I'm gathering we all want Michael's nuts. Got it. Okay.
Oh,
That's crazy.
This or that. Would you rather have to write an apology email to the mayor on behalf of Reese for accidentally playing WAP over the ambulance speakers, or on behalf of Velma for calling City Hall a hotbed of lizard energy in her medical report?
I feel like I could defend either.
yeah, I feel like I could defend either. Maybe I would apologize and just say Reese got into something she wasn't supposed to, and she was acting weird.
Okay.
Because I don't see her doing that, but I could maybe find a reason on why she did it. I don't know about Velma.
Okay.
Hotbed of lizard activity. That's a unique one.
A hotbed of lizard energy.
Energy, like lot lizard energy, or like what kind of lizard?
Yeah,
Like,
she's
I'm
saying
not-
basically calling City Hall a hotbed of lizard energy. They just have an energy of a hotbed of lizards. It's random as fuck. I don't know. Just pick one.
I think I'd pick that one.
That one. Okay. Sativa.
Same, because sometimes Velma just says wild stuff, so.
And I'd love that. Don't worry, guys. It's over. This or that is over. So just to wrap up, anything exciting coming up with Pillbox? Do you guys have any events, new departments that you're developing? Like, what's up? What's in the future?
We have a blood drive coming up. It will probably be over by the time this airs, but
This is
we're
airing
doing
in
that.
August. So when is your blood drive?
Oh, yeah, it's the 19th.
Oh, it'll be long and gone by the time the
We had a
listeners-
successful blood drive on July
Yes, we got
19th.
so much blood.
They
We
got
have
so much blood.
Come to us for a transfusion.
Yes, but don't lose blood on purpose, please.
No.
Demetrus, you could talk about the clinical hours you guys are doing.
Yeah, we have the walk-in clinic. We're trying to keep it open as much as we can, as many days as we can. Aaron and I are kind of working to keep it open 7 days a week. Usually we're open an hour a day. You can come in for any variety of medical issues, whether it's just a refill for your medication, or you broke your ankle, or you got stabbed by some hobo on the street.
Oh.
So you can always come in. Just keep an eye on Birdie. We usually post when we're open and when we close.
And that's at Pillbox?
It's at the lower end of Pillbox. Said we're keeping it open as many days as we can. So if you have any on-demand medical issues, just keep an eye out. And if we're open, we'll take a look at you.
All right, you heard it here, listeners. Keep an eye out on the Pillbox Soch because it'll be posted. Okay, so final question, you guys. What do you love most about your job? Anything you find particularly fun about it, apart from saving lives?
I just love our general group that works there. It's for the most part a lot of positive energy, a lot of good flow, people wanting to learn, grow, and develop their skills.
It's a well-oiled machine, right?
Yes, but also a lot of collaboration, cooperation, a lot of coming together to do better. Not to touch on recent events, but we strive to provide the best service that we can, and I think that's proven throughout our track record. You look like a year ago when we were still doing surgeries on the front sidewalk of St. Fiacre, and
yes, we were.
Wow.
We were doing
Oh my god.
full-on surgeries on the sidewalk.
When Reese and I were able to take over operation of the hospital, we've come a very long way since those days, those dark days. So I think we've just done really well as a team and really worked our way up. And now with these clinical hours is something I'm really looking forward to get, doctors in the hospital who can do your BBL consults on demand, or like Demetrus said, fill a script, or you can do STD testing, you can do blood work. I mean, you can do whatever you'd like. I think it's the next step of our evolution in Evergreen EMS, and I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the growth and change.
Awesome. And it shows all the hard work that you guys put. It really shows. And once again, thank you guys for everything that you do for the city. I mean, people do notice. It's not, I know sometimes the negativity might be louder than the positivity, but know that you do have a lot of people that also cheer for you guys. So just know that. So thank you guys so much for giving me an hour of your time to do this episode. I truly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and continue to succeed in everything that you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Aw, alrighty. See you guys. Well, that was nice talking to them. I really like getting to know people and, a lot more about their professions. So listening to three folks from Pillbox say their side and where they come from, the ins and outs of their job, is really enlightening for me, and I hope it was sort of enlightening for you, especially if you are one of the folks that have had some not so good of a view towards EMS employees. Hopefully this kind of helped you understand a little bit more of where they're coming from. Just understand that there's everybody is going through their own shit, guys. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. So there is more than meets the eye with a lot of things. And, sometimes we just got to remember that, including myself, because it's very easy to forget. What a surprise. We're all fucking humans. Anyway, so that was the episode for today. We will be back in 2 weeks with a brand new episode because this is a bi-weekly show. Remember, if you're interested in an Agatha mic that's special and limited edition, reach out to anybody at Weasel News. It's only $1,000. Or you can reach out to me on Birdie by searching for Agatha. And I will hook you up. All right, guys. I hope you have a beautiful night, day, whatever the fuck time it is when you're listening to this. And I will see you next time. I'm not even going to edit that fuck up. I'm not going to edit it out. Because you know what? I'm a human being. And I don't have a sound engineer to edit this shit for me. All right. See you next time.
And
Ciao,
it's
my
been
cutie
her
patootie honey
all
buns.
along.